In 2012, Piers Morgan said definitively that although he had passed on rumours that he'd heard, there was no phone hacking in the Daily Mirror under his editorship from 1995 to 2004. He said that he knew that phone hacking was an investigative practice that everybody knows was going on. Almost every paper in Fleet Street knew this for years. But he claimed that it was not going on when he was editor. Lord Justice Leveson has described the former Daily Mirror editor as utterly unpersuasive. He described his evidence as utterly unpersuasive and said the practice may well have occurred in the Daily Mirror until the late 1990s, and Piers Morgan had said that he didn't know about anything beyond that. Utterly unpersuasive. So Leveson was critical of Morgan's attitude to phone hacking. The evidence doesn't establish that Mr. Morgan authorised the hacking of any voicemails or that journalists employed by the Trinity Mirror Group were indulging in the practice. What it does, however, clearly prove is that he was aware it was taking place in the press as a whole, and that he was sufficiently unembarrassed by what was criminal behaviour that he was prepared to joke about it. But we now know, from the evidence given by Mr. Scooby in the present case, that Johnson seems to have not only been aware of it, but sanctioned it. Not Johnson. Piers Morgan. Sorry, I'm confusing two of these people. How easily confused they are. I think this is utterly damning. At the very least, it requires an explanation. And should Scobie's account be upheld, then I suspect Piers Morgan might actually be facing a question of perjury. It's extremely worrying. Now, I know a number of editors and people, senior staff in the tabloids from that period, and I must say I tend to keep my distance. I think that their approach to gathering information was scurrilous and has proven to be so. And that they were all like pigs in a trough. Hogs. Hogsmeade. Don't you find that expression rather entertaining in J.K. Rowling? Hogsmeade, what does it really mean? That that you go to this little village where you are like pigs in a trough of mead. Well, you know, always nice to look at some etymology. Anyway, it's better looking at Piers Morgan than it is thinking about Suella Braverman's pitch against the invaders at her speech. Anyone else? I suppose we could say the same thing to Piers Morgan and all these newspaper editors. Anyone else? Do we need to name names?